following program is sponsored by Friends of Life Outreach International. Coming up, Dr. Don Colbert shares the 4 key areas that create a pathway to optimum wellness in Health Zone Essentials.
This program will reverse many diabetics and most pre-diabetics. And what it does is it literally will program your body for a long, healthy, vibrant life where you won't be ended up usually in a nursing home if you follow this type program. You'll achieve and maintain a healthy weight, and you'll prevent or reverse most diseases.
Well, I want to welcome you to Life Today. James Robinson and Betty, I tell you, if you listen today, it's going to add years to your life and life to your years. I'm going to promise you this. Dr. Colbert's with us. Now, he's been coming a long time. By the way, Betty and I are both, she didn't mind me saying how old I am. We're both 80. 80, okay? 60 years married. So you can imagine what a strong woman she is to live with me for 60 years. Okay, no doubt about that. But you pray for her a lot, I'm sure. Here's what I want you to know. We are about as blessed as any 80-year-old couple on the planet. Nobody can believe, look at her, she's 80. And even people are telling me now, you don't look 80 either. Okay, good, I don't know what I look. Maybe you say, well, you look 100. Okay, it doesn't matter. Here's the deal. We are so full of life and we're so full of energy. And so if you think we look like we're doing well we're doing better than it looks, okay? And we're told it doesn't look bad. We're doing good for 80. Well, here's the key. It's this man named Dr. Don Colbert, because he's actually been helping us for 25 years. We'd have probably been dead 20 years ago if he hadn't showed up. He's added so much life. Dr. Connard also added a lot of life to our years. The company Trivita, one of our friends that was inspired, you might say, through the ministry here, has impacted our life. But here's the deal. Look at this. Health Zone Essentials. The Healthy Gut Zone Cookbook. He's talked about the gut zone, your stomach, but now the cookbook. And then get this. This is so important. It looks to me like it should be in a great big cover. Stretch your way to better health. You can actually exercise your way to better health. Is it amazing? Right. And is this guy amazing?
Yes.
Do you agree he's one of the reasons that you still look radiant and young?
He has helped us both a whole lot. He really has. Sometimes when something will come up and I think, oh, I got to go grab this book or I got to go grab that. Which one I find the most, gets me the most answers I need for what I might be going through. Because we all face challenges. Things will come up that are different. Even though you're doing your best to eat right, health-wise, take care of yourself, there's things that's going to come up. And it's just good to know how to treat or take care of your body better.
And he not only knows, but he presents it in a way that's very clear. Now, I want to say this to you, and I don't want you to miss it. Every one of you know how much we care about the overlooked, about those Jesus called the least of these, how effective we've been at saving lives with food where they're starving, clean water where contaminated water is killing them, how we've rescued people that are being trafficked, how we have placed children who had no home in a home, how we have trained people in how to live, and how we have changed nations. It's amazing what love has done. But you need to understand, as much as you see us pouring love on the starving and on those that are dying of contaminated water, we love you that much. And what we do when we come with Dr. Colbert and these others and all of our guests is to minister life to you. I don't know how old you are, how young you are. We love you as much as any overlooked child, any person that's hurting. And this is for you. Dr. Colbert, thank you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you for being a blessing. You've changed our life. You have added so many years to our life and so much life to our years. It's amazing. Can you not tell that this guy feels good and she feels good?
Absolutely. You've got vibrant health. And this is what... When anyone is 80 years old, to have the energy that you have, the vitality and the longevity that you're going to be having, I'm just ecstatic to see that, because you're going to get this message out and it's going to continue to resonate for many years to come.
All right, tell us about the Health Zone Essentials. You broke this out into several very key parts.
Yes, well, what the Health Zone Essentials came because so many patients would come to me and said, Dr. Colbert, what's the one book I can read that will help me achieve optimal health? And I said, we're going to read this book, this book, this book, this book. I said, no, I can only read one book. They said, there's too much. And so I said, well, what I did is I said, well, I finally got to the point where I said, I've got to put the 4 key elements in. The 4 keys are simply, number 1, restore the gut. We have to start by restoring the GI tract. You see, the gut is the key to health. Hippocrates said over 2,000 years ago, all disease begins in the gut. And just recently...
And by gut, that's not like a rough word. That's the intestinal tract.
That's your stomach, your small intestines, and large intestines. But now medical experts are agreeing that Hippocrates was absolutely right. So with the gut, what happens is because of a lot of the medicines we take, the anti-inflammatories, the antibiotics, the ulcer meds that we take, they harm the gut. And the foods we eat, a lot of the foods we eat harm the gut, like the lectins in the wheat, the soy that we eat. Anyone that eats processed food out of a box, it contains soy or corn. Also the sugars. The sugars really damage the gut. They cause bad bacteria to overgrow. But then, so what I've done is I've shown them which foods heal the gut, which supplements heal the gut, and which, especially olive oil, and I call them the 5 gut power tools heal the gut. So I talked about that, and which harm the gut.
You have an olive oil name.
Yes.
Tell me what it is.
Olive oil, there's a new olive oil. There's different olive oils. There's just extra virgin olive oil, and now there's a new class of olive oils called high polyphenol olive oils. I'm so excited because...
Can you get it in most grocery stores?
No, you can't. You
have
to order it online. It's called high polyphenol, POLYPHENOL, olive oils.
Do you get it in a pint? How does it come?
It comes in like a quart jar.
But it is actually oil. It's not something that's mixed to get oil.
No.
What makes it better?
Oil. Well, it's high in these polyphenols. Polyphenols is an antioxidant, and they are especially important for blood vessel health. It helps prevent plaque in your arteries. It helps to restore blood flow. It helps to clear. It helps the liver to function better. It helps the brain to function better. It helps to clear beta amyloid out of the brain. So this is one. And so what I do is I consume a lot of high polyphenol olive oil. For example, for lunch, you had a lunch here today, and they brought it in, and I had my bottle of olive oil, and I poured like at least 4 or 5 tablespoons of olive oil on it, because it keeps you full for hours.
You use it like a salad dressing.
Exactly. I didn't use any salad. I just used my olive oil. Now, again, I do this for breakfast. I do some for dinner. And I actually take a couple of teaspoons of a super high polyphenol called Atsis oleocanthal olive oil in the morning, and you just swish it between your teeth for a few minutes, and it takes the tartar off your teeth.
Really?
So again, this olive oil is different. These are new classes of olive oil, and what it does, when you take it, it's going to burn the back of your throat, and you may cough, and you'll say, oh, it's bad olive oil. No, it's good olive oil, because it has what we call the ibuprofen effect. There's ibuprofen receptors, and when you take this olive oil, it'll burn the back of your throat a little. You think it's got pepper in it. It doesn't. It doesn't have pepper. It's the oleocanthals and the high polyphenols. They are so powerful for brain health, so powerful for longevity and disease prevention and cardiovascular health. So that's why I encourage people to do it. Don't freak out if you get a little hot or a little warmth or a little cough or it burns the back of your throat. That means it's a good thing.
All right. Any other things you want to touch on?
Yes. Now, the other thing after gut, the next step we've got to do is we've got to shift to a keto or keto Mediterranean, a healthy keto and or a healthy keto Mediterranean diet to achieve weight loss and to prevent and reverse most diseases. Because we find that most Americans eat way too much sugar, way too much carbohydrates that convert to sugar. As a result, we have an epidemic of diabetes, prediabetes in this country, with about 50% having that. And so this program will reverse many diabetics and most pre-diabetics. And if you add some nutrients to it, it'll usually reverse it. And what it does is it literally will program your body for a long, healthy, vibrant life where you won't be ended up usually in a nursing home if you follow this type program. You'll achieve and maintain a healthy weight, and you'll prevent or reverse most diseases. And then the next part of it I add to it is optimizing the hormones. The hormones are like the spark plugs of life. And so when you bring hormone levels to the level of a 20-year-old, even if you're 80, you start to feel like a 20-year-old. So what I do for my patients, I check all their hormone levels. I check their active form of thyroid, which is their free T3 level. I check their total testosterone, their free testosterone, estrogen. Even men need estrogen. Did you know that? But you need the right amount. It helps turn the brain on. But you get your estrogen from testosterone. So testosterone converts to estrogen, but you want it in a certain amount, 20 to 40, not over that, or else you'll be more prone to blood clots.
Can they get these things you're saying easily? Do they get it
Yes.
pharmaceutical? How do you get it?
Well, you get it mainly by having your doctor check your blood. And in my book, I talk about where to go to certain doctors that they can check it and tests that they can have done. If you're less than 55, many times they can take a supplement. Like I have the testosterone zone. You take 3 pills in the morning, and it helps to raise naturally the testosterone levels. And so again, mostly if you're over 55, most people need testosterone. Now the good news, you don't have to take a shot.
Is this men and women you're talking about?
Yes, men and women. Testosterone is the most important hormone for a woman too, because as a woman ages, she gets frail, feeble, osteoporosis, they get brain fog, they get all kinds of problems with stress incontinence where they have, they cough or sneeze and have to urinate. So again, this will help to prevent that. This will keep their bones strong, their muscles strong, they won't get feeble, and they most likely won't end up in a nursing home. So again, with women, I use usually testosterone creams. Now, our testosterone creams can now give the levels of a testosterone injection. There's also testosterone pellets.
Where do you get the creams?
Well, from the pharmacy, the compounded pharmacy. You can't get it from a regular pharmacy. There are not testosterone pills for women, so we have to put them in creams, and only a few pharmacists know how to do it. They're generally compounded pharmacies. So that's a major key.
Okay, do you give us information in the books that answer these questions?
Yes, the answers are in the book in the back. In the
so when we look at the gut zone,
correct,
and we've talked about this one, but we're offering you these 3 because, like I said, we care as much about your life and your health as we do those who are starving and those who are being affected adversely and even killed, sick or killed because of contaminated water, unclean water. We do our best to notice everybody, but we do notice you. I mean, you're not a donor, you're life, you're part of our body, your family, your team, and we want to be a blessing to you. And I'm telling you, we've been blessed. We imagine we've had 60 years married, and we went together 4 years, and I want you to know this is one really strong woman. And I mean, we stayed exactly like God says you're supposed to stay. And there's a big reason for, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not always what I ought to be. But the point is, we are giving you something that will bless your life and give you joy and strength. So that's what we're doing. Okay, everything you're talking about, they can find here, correct?
Yes. Now, the last piece of the puzzle is you've got to optimize brain health. We got to give the nutrients, the foods, the hormones, and the lifestyle modifications that protect the brain. So many Christians, as they age, they develop dementia. They develop Alzheimer's, and they end up in a nursing home. We have a program that can prevent dementia, and it's simple. By following this program, by going to your doctor, doing the test we recommend in the back, especially checking homocysteine levels, check to see if you have the Alzheimer's gene, check your HSCRP to see if you're inflamed. If you have inflammation or high levels of C-reactive protein in your blood, your brain is forming beta amyloid, which is plaque, and it's literally cutting off the brain's neurons. It's destroying neurons in the brain. If your homocysteine's high, you're destroying neurons. It's so easy to lower. We lower it simply with some B vitamins, active forms of the B vitamins, active form of folic acid, active form of B12. We also use curcumin. It's that yellow curry that you take. It's in our Brain Zone Basic. You say, well, it stains my fingers.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, it does get on my fingers.
It also stains, it grabs onto beta amyloid in your brain and it pulls it out.
So that's the reason
for that. So that's good. So you want that. That's okay. But again, the curcumin is really good for the brain, and what we find is 40% of the population here in the U.S. have a mutation in the MTHFR gene that can cause an elevation of homocysteine, which literally is a toxin in the brain which causes beta amyloid to accumulate. So we want to identify that. The biggest thing that's so rampant in this country is sleep apnea from obesity. People especially men over 50, a lot of them have sleep apnea and it's not recognized. If your neck's 17 inches or bigger, you probably have sleep apnea. In a woman, If it's 16 inches or bigger, you have sleep apnea. You're starving your brain cells. You got to have oxygen. So get checked for it. We have great ways. Just simply losing 25 pounds is enough for most people to reverse it.
You know, when we went on the keto diet that you wrote the book on and talked to us about it, I lost 25 pounds.
Wow.
And I was weighing over 240 a lot and always 235, never below 230. And I weighed 214 this morning. And this has been, I don't know how many years ago now.
Wow.
Since several
About 4 or 5 years.
Betty lost down to where she always looks nice and trim. She lost back down to where she could put on her wedding dress.
Praise
she
God.
got down. She
Good.
was just amazing. And she's still there. She is absolutely drop dead beautiful.
Amen.
And she has just done the right things. And to see where he is putting this down in print, what he's shared here, the great books that he's written, we want to give you something that is equal to giving a water well to children and their families who never had anything but contaminated water. It's like giving food to children that are starving. We're trying to give you life. And he has broken this down. And when we have such a relationship with Dr. Colbert, we can talk about what we need. Just like me asking him, how do we find these things? Well, he's actually taken the time to break it down, even for him to demonstrate himself. And he did a lot of this right here in our studio, how you do the simple stretch and exercises, that it's amazing. I tell him I feel like I'm not over 50. And that's what I feel like. My strength, everything is just amazing. And I look at my wife and I watch her, and I've told her, I said, baby, you got to be the smartest woman on the planet. I can't even imagine how you just remember everything. You're just like watching beauty in motion, but amazing production. You just do everything right. So please know that we're talking to you because we love you. And we're going to give you a chance to save lives by giving water. But we're going to give you something that equals water to you. It can give you life. It can give you a longer life. It can add years to your life. And like Dr. Connor used to say all the time, life to your years. We're the most life-filled 80-year-olds you may ever see. And we enjoy life. We don't exist. We live. And this man is one of the reasons. Why do you think we bring him back? I mean, we don't have some kind of an economic agreement, for heaven's sake. Okay, so he's sold 10 million books. Good. He has helped more than 10 million people because people who get help, they talk about it. So we want to send these to you. I want you to look in on a scene. And I'm so proud of Randy and Tammy.
Amen.
Tammy's kind of adopted me as a dad, and her as another mom, and she's family to us, and has been for a long time. But Randy's our son, and we're just amazed at how he and Tammy are being blessed as they bless you. I want you to see Randy recently, and I want you to listen to what he saw and what he felt. And just like this man can be a great help, you can be the absolute miracle. You can be the perfect miracle that what Randy addresses, all those people are looking for. That's right. And never imagined it could come because of God's love in you. You can become the perfect miracle. Please listen to God as he speaks to you through our son, Randy. Please, watch closely.
In so many places around the world, we see people that don't have water, any water to drink. If they do, they're scraping it from the worst places possible. But in some places, like where I'm at right now in Burundi, there seems to be an abundance of water, but the water is not safe.
Uwo mwana rero namuze mu kwezi kwa kabiri, umwana yapfuye abyimvye, ndajana ku ivuriro, umwana ndamugejeje ku ivuriro, umwana yishwe no kudahwa, ububyimba bwose, inda yari yaragiye, umutwe wari waragiye, amagejeje ku ivuriro, umwana caracikana.
It was this water source where she would come and get the water every day in these jugs and take back to her children. And it's this water source that took Stella's life.
Tinze mvuga ati honda mwibuke hoho ni nkuko notuma Imana mvuga ati canga hano umusange nta kundi kuko ndiko ndamwibuka mba ndimo ndibuka agahinda kenshi gose mu buzima bwanje.
I don't want Jacqueline to have to go through this again. She has other children. She's doing all that she can. Are we doing all that we can? We can change this. We have the power. It's within our power to give them clean drinking water so that she doesn't get to the point where she wants to die. That's why it's critical that we do something right now. You and I can do something. We can come in and we can put a well in this village and they will have clean water. And there are so many other villages just like this, so many other mothers that are experiencing the same pain that Jacqueline is feeling. We want you to join us in reaching around the world to places like this and giving them clean, pure drinking water. Will you do that? Will you give life? Will you give water for life? When you do, you will be changing the lives of mothers like Jacqueline all over the world. Do it today.
Well, I want to put God's arms around those people. And Betty, I've said it many times, the only way God can get his arms around the world that he gave his son to redeem is the body of Christ. Would you put your arms around those mothers and those families and those children and give them the miracle, the one miracle that really will work physically, and that's clean water, so they don't have to go get that disease-ridden water? Could you make a gift today? Would you give $48? Give 10 people water the rest of their life? Could you drill a well? Do you know many people who have been blessed and have the resources? They actually say one of the greatest joys of our life is to try to give a well every year. Could you give $4,800 or maybe $1,200 and say, God, raise up 3 people to join me, we got a well, or $2,400 and raise up 1 to join me? I don't know what you can do, but would you just do what God lays on your heart? Would you do what you can right now to be the miracle that people long for? And this isn't wishful thinking. This is an absolute, undeniable miracle. And think about this. Jesus is the water of life. You put water for life in their village, and they are so ready to hear about the water of life because they've seen it demonstrated. His love demonstrated through you, and there's that well, a constant reminder of who the water of life is. We have these wonderful gifts to send you, and all of these things, Betty, that Dr. Colbert has written, they have, would you say, changed our life?
They really have, and to me, if you want to know where to start with that keto diet. It gets your life in order, and remember, your body is the temple of God. He gave it to us to take care of and to nurture. And we want to live on this earth as long as he wants us to be a witness for him. But we got to feel good to do that. Because you know your whole life can change if you feel bad. Your body doesn't feel good. And so really start on this as soon as you can. I promise you, you'll feel much better. You'll have a zeal that God gives you to go out and say, I want to be an example of God's work in my life.
You know, we pray so hard and get so excited about giving people water or giving them food, but I'm just as excited about giving you life. You can have a life so much richer and more blessed than you imagine. Give us a chance to share that life with you. And if you can and will, please, help us drill a well. Give as large a gift as you can to give the great gift of life through clean water. Would you do that? Dial that number, take your bank card, use it like a check. If you do write a check, make it to life, but call us and tell us you're putting it in the mail. We need to know that. We need to tell them you can drill a well. We've got the resources. You can go online and make a gift. Please do it today. We'll send these gifts to you as rapidly as we can get them in the mail to you, and they will bless you, and you're going to save lives. Thank you for doing it.
Every day, thousands of lives are lost to waterborne disease, and nearly half of those are children under the age of 5. Through Mission Water for Life, you can give mothers hope and children a future as we provide clean, life-giving water for thousands of children and their families before it's too late. With your gift today, you can help drill and establish 350 water wells this year. Your gift of $24 will help provide clean water for 5 children. A gift of $48 will provide for 10. $72 will provide for 15. And $144 will help provide life-giving water for 30 people for a lifetime. With your gift of any amount, we'll send you Dr. Don Colbert's Health Zone Essentials, a roadmap to living a long, healthy, and energized life. With your gift of $75 or more, we'll also send you the Health Zone Bundle, which includes Dr. Colbert's Healthy Gut Zone Cookbook, filled with advice and his favorite recipes to guide you on your healing journey, as well as his special DVD, Stretch Your Way to Better Health. Gain flexibility, mobility, and balance through daily stretching techniques. Finally, please consider a gift of $1,200 to help provide water for 250 people, or a gift of $4,800 to help sponsor a complete well and request our new bronze sculpture, A Cup of Water, inspired by Jesus' words in Mark 9:41. Please call, write, or make your gift online today.
Hey, Dr. Don Colbert here. Did you realize that contaminated drinking water is one of the leading causes of death and disease throughout the world? Clean drinking water is absolutely essential to good health. That's why I've joined with Life Today in helping to drill water wells throughout the world. We've been partners for years, and I encourage you to do the same. Give the gift of clean, healthy water. God bless you. Thank you.
I do want to remind you that the Health Zone Essentials is for any gift, and we get the 3 for those who will give at least $75. And I want to repeat, this is a video to show you how to do these stretches and these exercises. Dr. Colbert, I feel like God has shown you the way to help people take care of the body, the temple of God. And I want to thank you for it. And I know you have great joy in watching people's lives change.
Absolutely.
I think you're thrilled to see what God's done in our lives.
Absolutely, I am. And you're a testimony of what the goodness that God has done in your lives through following these principles. And want you to live a long, much longer, and continue to live that healthy life, free of pain and
that's
full
what
of vigor.
Together, we're trying to help everybody do that right
Amen.
now. We're giving you more than a well of water. It's a well of life. Thank you so much for watching. And by the way, thanks for helping us share life. Thank you. God bless you.
You have brain cancer, and it's terminal. There is no cure.
A truly awe-inspiring testimony of courage and faith next week. Life Today is made possible by the supporters of Life Outreach International. Your gift will be used exclusively for the exempt purposes of life. The ministry features specific outreaches as examples of the programs it supports and conducts. Gifts are considered to be without restriction as to use unless explicitly stipulated by the donor. The ministry is a member of the ECFA.